This is 3 News First Edition.
A young Coastal Bend man shot in a park. What investigators have to say about finding the gunman. Plus, new details are emerging in this weekend's triple homicide, the possible motive.
And get ready to conquer the coast. I'm Sarah Costa live outside Whataburger Field with local cyclists who are ready for the big ride.
Wow, and there's not even looks like a drop of rain.
There are some showers headed to Sarah though right now.
Oh, we're going to find out about that in a second. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Thomas Kobos. It is 5 a.m. Tuesday, September 16th. Jay Monreal has the day off.
Yeah, but I'm meteorologist Alan Holtz. Like clockwork, we said there would be showers early on this morning, and the tropical wave that's producing them is nearing the area, and the radar is working. You can see all the showers out on the radar. We'll take a quick look downtown. There was a little thunderstorm in southern Nueces County, some rain up in Rockport, but where Sarah's at, you see the rain approaching the Harbor Bridge area, and she's going to get some rain here probably within the next 5-10 minutes or so. We'll check in with her in a few minutes. John Thomas.
Thank you, Alan. Corpus Christi detectives are looking for a 17-year-old boy wanted for shooting a 19-year-old man in the stomach. Officers responded to Los Encinos Park last night around 6:30 to find the wounded victim. The shooter ran off into the neighborhood. Investigators say they have a pretty good idea of who the teenage shooter is.
My understanding at this point in time was it was going to be a fist fight and somebody pulled out a weapon instead.
The victim was taken to an area hospital. He is expected to recover. Call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS if you have any information that could lead to an arrest. The Flower Bluff man accused of fatally shooting 3 people and critically injuring a 10-year-old boy at the Marina Village Park Sunday night remains in Nueces County Jail. 63-year-old Samuel Toomey is charged with capital murder and aggravated assault. Detectives say 32-year-old Laura Ogden and her 10-year-old son were shot. Ogden died. The boy underwent surgery yesterday afternoon, and at last check, he's in stable condition. The 2 other victims are 63-year-old Pamela Rhodes and 56-year-old Ricky Collier. They lived across from Toomey. Investigators say the victims were in the process of moving to a different area of the mobile home community when that shooting occurred.
Based on the preliminary investigation, the victims were actually intended victims of the suspect, and it all stemmed from disputes with the neighbors, and it had been ongoing for some time.
Captain Michael Alaniz says Toomey confessed to those shootings. Toomey is being held in lieu of $3.1 million bond. The motive in the fatal shooting is still under investigation, although detectives have a good idea what led up to this attack. 3 News reporter Anayeli Ruiz spoke with several residents who witnessed the escalation that led to 3 lives being taken.
One man with ties to the victim said bad feelings got out of hand.
The incidents that happened last night were between several neighbors, and it was an ongoing feud that had lasted for several weeks.
RV park managers contend that Toomey had issues with a husband and a wife that lived across the street from him, and with a young mother that lived next door to Toomey.
Multiple calls were made to the police, and we hate that something has to end this way.
The young mother who lived next door had just moved in with her family.
There was a very sweet young lady. She was here for about 6 weeks, and everybody here loved her.
Anayeli Ruiz, 3 News.
Laura Ogden also leaves behind 2 children. Their father was killed in Operation Enduring Freedom. To the Nueces County Courthouse, 48-year-old Tommy Kaufman pleaded guilty to shooting and killing his sister-in-law, a Bishop High School librarian. Kaufman was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Investigators say he killed 42-year-old Elizabeth Kaufman inside her home in January. Kaufman went into hiding and was later arrested in Wyoming. A friend of the victim says Elizabeth would want the community to forgive her brother-in-law.
We shared everything. We were sisters. It's a tragedy. She could say nothing against anybody. She would be defending Tommy right now if she were here. She would be asking people to forgive him if she were here. She really would.
Kaufman also faced charges of stealing firearms. Those charges were dropped as part of his deal. The 48-year-old will serve at least 20 years before being considered for parole. Nueces County Commissioners approved a letter of intent to move forward with plans to demolish Christus Spohn Memorial Hospital. Under the plan, Spohn Shoreline Hospital would be expanded. Christus Spohn will replace Memorial with an outpatient clinic named after Dr. Hector P. Garcia. Services would be transferred to Shoreline. Despite the agreement, some residents are still concerned.
If we have a Cat 5 come through this community, we're not going to have a trauma center that's capable at all of taking care of anybody that has been injured in that hurricane.
I don't ever expect any county judge to sit here and let a Category 5 strike Corpus Christi without having a mandatory evacuation. So.
Construction on the outpatient clinic could begin next year and open as early as 2016. Memorial will not close its doors until the shoreline expansion is complete. The hospital district board will have final vote on the plans tonight. Striking back at ISIS just ahead, who has requested U.S. forces assist in attacks against the militant group, why Congress is not involved. First 3 News reporter Sarah Costa is live at Whataburger Field this morning, site of this weekend's Conquer the Coast. Sarah, you see any rain out there yet?
Yeah, we're basically hiding under the awning here at Whataburger Field, but these cyclers, rain or shine, not getting them down. They're ready to conquer the coast. When we come back, we'll talk to them as they gear up for the big ride.
This is 3 News First Edition with John Thomas Kobos, Jane Monreal, Sarah Acosta, and NWA certified meteorologist Alan Holt. This is 3 News First Edition.
Credit amnesty is now in effect at All Star Mitsubishi. Bring home $350 a week and you could be approved for up to $20,000 in credit. Plus, get a $500 credit just for filling out the application. Brand new Mitsubishis up to $10,000 off MSRP. All with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus a huge inventory of pre-owned Fords, Dodges, Chevrolets, Hondas, Toyotas. Credit amnesty is now in effect at All Star Mitsubishi.
This is the stop sign of Texas. Next exit is your $6 DQ steak stop. Choose a DQ Dude chicken fried steak sandwich with golden fries and a tall, refreshing drink. Or a DQ steak finger country basket with creamy home-style gravy, crispy fries, Texas toast, and a big old cold drink. Your choice, just $6. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
This fall, saving is in style at Ashley Furniture Home Store's Fall Style Event. Explore handcrafted pieces like this dining room, only $9.99. Or this Zellen Queen poster bed, just $3.29. This vintage casual sofa, $5.99. Or this youth vintage casual bunk bed, only $4.99. Or get 36 months, no interest for the styles you love at the prices you live for. Hurry in to Ashley Furniture Home Store.
Machinery Auctioneers had a big public auction coming to Alice, Texas this Wednesday, September 17th, 10 a.m. We'll be liquidating a Houston-based construction company. Everything must go from hand tools to construction machinery, backhoes, excavators, ag tractors, mowers, and over 50 work trucks. Also big trucks, vacuum trailers, flatbeds, belly dumps, and frac tanks. It's auction time this Wednesday, Alice, Texas. For more information, call 210-551-1718 or go to machineryauctioneers.com.
Hello, I'm Phil Neeson with Neeson Chevrolet in Kingsville. We see people from all over South Texas coming to Neeson Chevrolet because we have the largest section of Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs in South Texas at the absolute best prices. We treat our customers with honesty and respect. No high pressure or hassle here, just good, honest deals. The best selection, the best prices, huge rebates, 0% financing are at Neeson Chevy, Buick GMC in Kingsville.
Stop by the TV3 booth and meet your favorite news team at this year's Caller Times Best of the Best Showcase. Visit more than 100 booths and register for your chance to win some great door prizes. We'll see you at the American Bank Center, Sunday, September 21st.
Scattered showers around the area this morning in response to a little tropical wave moving inland today. You see the showers here on the radar on the way to work this morning. Talking to our people in-house here, John Thomas, everyone saying that the roads were wet. So it looks like a lot of the rain, although it doesn't look impressive on the radar, has been scattered enough and more frequent enough to at least wet the roads for the most part. I know Padre Island Drive was wet on my way in. A few showers here moving into the downtown area where Sarah Sarah's at Whataburger Field. She was just talking about how they were taking cover. Nothing significant. We're not talking about thunderstorms, but probably some heavy rain moving over the Whataburger Field right now and over the Back Bay. So this is good news here. We're not talking about anything dangerous, but some good tropical rains are going to be headed our way today in response to the tropical wave we were talking about yesterday morning. You see the slug of moisture getting pushed inland right now. Most of the showers are in coastal counties. This is going to be the case for the morning. Once this starts to move a little further inland, we'll start to see the rain shift to more inland counties. But I think for the most part, we're going to be talking scattered showers throughout the day in Corpus Christi, with the most frequent activity during the morning time. Go over to the Baja Peninsula. Tropical storm Odile is still over the Baja Peninsula, and it's just getting wrung out over there. A lot of rain for the Baja Peninsula. This is interesting for us, though, because it's going to have an indirect effect on our weather. What's going to happen is you see the moisture trailing off into the desert Southwest. Well, some of this moisture is going to actually make it all the way around the desert Southwest and back over into South Texas as we head into the remainder of the week. So we're going to have some tropical moisture, at least a little bit, to play with from what is now Tropical Storm Odile. And get this, we could even talk about a cool front. Yes, a cool front coming from this storm. I'm going to build a graphic here as the show goes on, showing you how this is going to be potentially bringing a cool front our way by the beginning of the coming week. So that's going to be interesting to watch here. Futurecast does show that little tropical wave moving inland, and the chances for rain also moving inland through the afternoon, but still some scattered showers will be possible throughout the day in Corpus Christi, with the most numerous action right now and early this morning. For the later part of the day and into tomorrow, not as much here being shown on Futurecast, but I think the trend over the next basically through the rest of the work week is going to be to see morning coastal showers switching inland during the afternoon along the sea breeze. So I think that's going to be the trend here we see each and every day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after today. This is today's rain total forecast through 7 o'clock tonight. Most everyone talking about no more than an inch, but some of us could be looking at that much or more if you find yourself under a heavy downpour with these tropical showers in place. Temperatures a little soupy this morning too, upper 70s as compared to low 70s earlier this week and weekend. 79 in Corpus Christi. We will top out in the mid 80s under scattered showers and cloudy and damp conditions. Southeast winds at 6 to 16 miles per hour tonight. Upper 70s, not rainy, but mostly cloudy, warm, and humid with winds less than 10 miles per hour. Morning coastal showers, afternoon inland showers through the rest of the work week. Temperatures warming into the upper 80s and low 90s. And yes, maybe a little weak front courtesy of Odile by early next week. John Thomas.
Thank you, Alan. The U.S. military has apparently taken its first step against ISIS terrorists without congressional approval. ABC's Tamar Bradley shows us how officials say they have launched their first airstrike in Iraq at the request of Iraqi forces.
America's new offensive against Islamic State militants is now underway. The U.S. launched an airstrike against an ISIS target south of Baghdad, aiding Iraqi security forces who'd come under attack. This marks the first time the U.S. military has acted under President Obama's new orders expanding airstrikes. Previous strikes were conducted only to protect U.S. facilities and support humanitarian efforts. The strike comes as ISIS continues its reign of terror. The militants have already selected their next victim, 47-year-old British aid worker Alan Henning, one of at least 5 Western hostages still being held.
We have neither the intelligence nor the access to these hostages to be able to rescue them.
The U.S. is trying to build international support for the battle against ISIS. One nation that won't be part of the coalition, Iran. Their leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, rejected the U.S. request to join the fight, saying America has dirty intentions in the region. The White House is waiting for Congress to authorize President Obama's plan to arm and train moderate Syrian rebels. Republican lawmakers appear to be on board.
We ought to give the president what he's asking for.
But some Democrats worry about history repeating itself.
We're going to pick a side or try to pick a side, and the same as we did when we went into Iraq, same as we've done in Afghanistan, and that hasn't worked well for us.
Lawmakers hope to have a bill dealing with the Syrian rebels passed this week. Today, the president meets with the U.S. general leading the international fight against ISIS. Tamar Bradley, ABC News, Washington.
President Obama is expanding efforts to control the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. Mr. Obama will visit the CDC in Atlanta later today, where he will announce an expansion of a $763 million plan to help West African nations fight the spread of the deadly virus. The administration has asked Congress for an additional $88 million in aid. The president is also expected to commit military resources and other health care workers to that region. Get ready to conquer the coast. 3 News reporter Sarah Acosta is live outside Whataburger Field with some local cyclists looking to get involved in this weekend's ride. Sarah.
Good morning, and these cyclists are so excited. It's raining out here. They're still up and happy to be here, right guys? And we have lots of different groups represented. We have TLC, we have the Quackers, we have Corpus Christi Cycling Club, and the Corpus Christi Triathlon Club, and I'm here, oh, of course, and we have Rusty with the Hooks, who's been so happy to be with us this morning, and Chris Nelson here with Corpus Christi Triathlon Club. And Chris, you're on the steering committee for Conquer the Coast. So what makes this race so unique that brings all the local cyclists together?
Well, I think it's just because it's in beautiful Corpus Christi, and the route around the bay is pretty amazing. There's not any other opportunity where you get to ride your bike up the Harbor Bridge and go over into Portland and cruise around the entire bay for 65 miles, ride a ferry with 100 other of your cycling friends. It's just, I think it's really just the route and the fact that there's 3 different rides, a 10 mile, a 25 mile, and a 65 mile, so something everybody can do.
Everyone, because I'm not a cyclist, so I think I might come out and do the 10-mile ride. That sounds like a lot of fun. And Jerry, so you guys, there's a bunch of you guys who are actually doing the 65-mile route. So how do you kind of, get everyone pumped up and pull through a ride that's that long?
We have a lot of riders that have not done the 65 before, so we also have a lot of experienced riders that are going to fall back and help those riders push through the whole ride so that we could continue having more riders go for the 65. And like Chris said, we have a 10, a 25 all the way leading up to the 65, and of course this is our pride. It's our city, and we take pride in that and encouraging all riders to come out and ride on this, not only here, but we also invite our local other friends from San Antonio, Dallas, where we have other friends in other cities to come down and enjoy this ride.
So great sense of community here with the local cyclists. Thank you guys so much for being with us this morning, and later in the show we'll talk to more of you guys about how you get pumped up for the big ride this Saturday. Back to you.
Okay, Sarah, we'll see you in the next half hour. I know a lot of people are coming in from out of town. I want to hear all about that when you get a chance. A feast for the family. Still to come, Mr. Food heads to Italy.
15 minutes.